Alright, this is part 2 of beef pie. Actually, beef and onion pie. There's a fly around here. Go away. Anyway, here's how we put it all together, mate. Get away! Bloody flies. Check this out. Right, now that the fly's gone, I greased 4 pie tins. And that is the 2 types of pastry, short crust and puff. The short crust goes on the bottom because it cooks better. If you put puff on the bottom, it'll still turn out okay, but a little bit crunchy and soft. Whereas when you use the short crust on the bottom, it turns out better, nice and firm. I can make my own pastry if someone's going to ask that question, and I have done in other videos. I just couldn't be bothered today. It's summer, so out of the freezer came some puff pastry and some short crust, and it looks a bit rugged because when you make your own pastry, you can roll it to the size you want. And very rarely do you roll square pastry. Anyway, I'll patch this up, as you'll see, with bits of pastry. You won't notice it when it's finished, even though people go, oh my God, what's he doing? What's that? Well, pastry is very forgiving. So what you'll see I'm doing is just patching those bits and pieces where the pastry didn't reach. It'll work out. Doesn't take too long to fix this up, and you'll see. I don't leave it all jagged like this, as you'll see. I'll be trimming it with a knife. That's the last bit of the patchwork. Don't be worried. Don't worry about it. It'll all be good. People will be going, oh no, but it's going to be fine. Now that I've done that, and I'm happy enough with the pastry, I'll be getting a sharp knife, which wasn't on hand, and I had to go off the studio set just for one moment. Look, I'm back. So here we go, trimming the edge, and there's not much waste actually, but there's a bit. But you can always use that pastry for something else. Now, as you'll see, that is a pie tin with pastry, short crust. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the beautiful braised beef I made earlier today, and I'm going to put it into the pies. I did strain off a little bit, just a bit, because it was just a little bit too loose, but there's plenty of liquid juice in that steak that's going in these pies. They are going to taste fantastic. I haven't had one yet. I'm making this video, cooking the last batch of pies, because I had a lot of meat, but they look good, they smell good. I'm sure they're going to taste good. I'll do a video of the wife tasting it. Professional taste of food, is she? So that's all the meat in the 4 pies I made initially. Made 8 all up. And I'm just egg washing the edge, because it's just like glue really. You could say otherwise, like, oh, it's professionally done this way. No, it's glue. That's what egg wash is. I didn't put any milk in with this egg wash. You can do. You can put a dash of milk in there. You can just use egg yolk if you want to get fancy. Yes, egg yolk just on its own will make a more golden colour. But I just whisked up an egg, and I'm now cleaning all the edges up with a little bit of glue so I can stick on the puff pastry that goes on top. Remember, short crust on the bottom. So I use 2 short crust sheets for the bottom and 1 for the top, as you'll see. So I'm now going to put the lids on the pies, because the glue's on there, and I make it fit. Like I say, pastry is quite forgiving. You can stretch it and pull it and do whatever you need to do, patch it. I'm just pressing down the pastry on itself onto the other bits of pastry, and now I'm going to trim the edge up, as you'll see. Is it easier making pies than buying them? No, but it's a great deal of fun and satisfaction in doing so. So there is one of the pies finished. What I will do now is get my special little fork, and I'm going to put a crimp. You could use your fingers. I like using the little fork. Reminds me of pies when I was a kid. And like I say, they're a fairly big pie. They're about 5 inches across. I don't know, inch and a bit deep. And they, like I say, they're a good meal. You wouldn't want more than one, unless you're a piggy. You can put it in text and context in the comments if you like. I'd like 5, because I'm a piggy. Anyway, this is just a simple crimp method. I'm going to poke some holes in so the steam can get out while the pie is cooking. And now I'm going to put a little bit of egg wash. Like I say, you can get real fancy, you just have egg yolk wash. Most people just use egg and a dash of milk. I forgot to put the dash of milk in, so it's all egg. But it'll be fine. And I've made many pies. This is a long time since I made just beef pies. There's a bit of onion in there, but it sort of disappears in the cooking. You get the flavour of the onion, not so much the onion. So now I'm going to put them all on a baking tray, which will go in the oven at 190 degrees Celsius. And what's that in Fahrenheit? I'm sure the wizards will be able to tell you. Put it in context of me not knowing. Put it in the comments what 190C is in Fahrenheit. I'm going to guess and say about 375. Like I say, this is now going in the oven at 190 Celsius, and I'll be leaving it in there for about 45 minutes all up, roughly. In other words, when it's done, it's finished. But here is the end product coming straight out of the oven. Here we go, look at that. They smell fantastic. Now I'll be leaving in the little tins for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I will take them out and put them on a cooling rack, because these are ones that we're going to have later. Anyway, that's the end product. Homemade beef and onion pies. And I can tell you, it put a smile to my face, and I can tell you one of these pies is smiling back at you. Look at him.